everybody. So my name is Dr. Arinola Dada. Today, I want to talk about how to eat better, okay? How to eat better and how to have an anti-inflammatory diet. So I'm going to talk a little bit about general tips, and then we're going to do a little game of eat this, not that, okay? So my name is Dr. Arinola Dada. Welcome to the Healthy Joints, Healthy Lifestyle Show. I work in the greater Seattle area. I help people with autoimmune diseases and joint pain get their immune system back on track and become joint pain free. So let's talk about it, and we're going to talk about foods and just the general idea of an anti-inflammatory diet, right? So we know that diet affects the immune system, diet affects inflammation, and the things that we can do on our own to minimize the likelihood that our inflammatory process gets worse or that we trigger an inflammatory process. Now, don't get me wrong, there are many things that make it more likely that one develops an autoimmune disease, but perhaps there are things in our diet that we can use to reduce either the severity or the degree of inflammation or even breakthrough flares. Okay, so we're going to talk about the aim. The overall aim is that we want to try to eat whole, unprocessed, colorful foods. So when you're thinking about colorful things like berries come to mind, the closer we are to the natural occurrence of the food, then the better it is for our body. So we want to try to minimize the consumption of processed foods, right? Kind of makes sense. Want to minimize alcohol, and we definitely want to minimize fast food. Okay, so we're going to do a little game, and it's called Eat This, Not That. Okay, so I'm going to kind of talk about the major food groups. So one is protein. So what kind of proteins should I be eating? So you want to eat fish 2 to 3 times a week. You want to make sure that you're eating. If you're eating meat, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a carnivore, I like meat, but try to eat the lean meat, right? So try to eat the lean cuts of beef, sirloin steak, turkey, and you want to try to avoid the skin of the chicken. So those are the proteins that you should be eating. Other things that you should avoid. So eat this, not that. We already did eat this. Then you want to avoid the protein from processed meats, right? So all the cured meats, the cold cuts, the canned meats. You want to avoid really bacon, salami, hot dogs, sausages, and all those lunch meats, right? Unless you're kind of preparing your own. So that's kind of in the protein section, right? Let's go to the next thing, carbs, right? Carbohydrates. They are healthy carbs, as you can imagine. Fruits and vegetables, you want to eat as much of that as possible. That's healthy. The other things that you can eat that are in the carb family are things like even just sweet potatoes, right? What you want to do, you want to avoid processed flour, and you want to avoid sugar. Sugar specifically just spikes up your insulin and aggravates inflammation in your system, right? So other things that you should be eating in the carb family include beans and lentils and winter squashes and steel cut oats. So those are all the healthy things that you should be doing. So we did a little eat this, not that for carbohydrates. And then in fats, everybody knows avocado is good for you, nuts, almond nuts, hazelnuts, pecans, pumpkin nuts, sesame seeds, all those are good for you. Omega-3s, salmon, sardines, packed in whether it's water or olive oil is all good. Black cod, olive oil and avocado, mentioned that already. So those are kind of the healthy fats that we should be ingesting. There is a lot of concern about kind of the bottom dwelling fish. They're not terrible for you, but you should just be aware of it, right? So high mercury seafood is thought to be pro-inflammatory. So things like marlin, M-A-R-L, marlin, things like swordfish, and then the big-eye tuna. So just kind of in moderation, just knowing that there's a risk that there's a lot of mercury there and you have to be careful. And just to let you know that I'm not a party pooper, right? Fiber, you can eat as much of that as you want, right? So fiber is very important, maintains bowel regularity, bowel regularity, right? It lowers your cholesterol, improves your blood sugar, which in turn reduces inflammation, right? So examples of fibers, if you think about vegetables, legumes, whole grains, oatmeal, oat bran, nuts, barley, and most vegetables. So I just wanted to give a quick information on foods that we can eat that is going to reduce our risk for inflammation. So my name is Dr. Arinola Dada. I gave you the 4 different food groups, right? And things that you should eat and things you should avoid. And so follow us if you think that this video is helpful at the Healthy Joints, Healthy Lifestyle on YouTube. We plan to be bringing you regularly healthy tips that helps you improve your immune system and your joints so that you can have the healthiest version of yourself. Look us up at overlakearthritis.com. Like this video, share it if you think it's going to be helpful, and you take good care. Thank you for watching.